Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Our Candy Rose for those who stay, in loving memory of Candace Rose, my daughter, who lived from 2007 to 2025. For those who stay, we remember. Your life will never be in vain. Everything we do will be in your name. If this is your first time here, my name is Dena. I'm a mom, I'm grieving, and I'm learning every single day how to keep living in a world that no longer looks the way it did before May 1st. This podcast is not about moving on, it's about staying present, staying honest, and staying open, even when it hurts the most. And today, I want to tell you a story that I heard today. It's not my story. So I recently heard this story today about two frogs who fell into a deep well. The walls were very steep. The climb looked impossible. Other frogs gathered around at the top of the well and began shouting down, "It's too high. You'll never get out. Just stop trying." One frog listened. He heard the hopelessness. He heard the certainty in their voices. And eventually he stopped trying. He stopped jumping. He gave up. And ultimately he died. The other frog kept jumping higher and higher, again and again, no matter what the frogs at the top yelled down. He kept going. Until finally, impossibly, he made it out of the well. The frogs at the top were stunned, and they kept asking him, "How did you do it? How did you jump that high?" The frog then smiled and jumped away. Because that frog was deaf. He thought they were cheering him on that entire time. When I heard this story, I had to sit with it for a little bit, because this story, isn't about frogs. It's like I'm crying over frogs right now. I mean, that's just my life right now, crying over anything and everything. But again, the story is not about frogs in my mind. It resonates with me because it's about grief. It's about survival. It's about the voices we let live inside of our heads when life breaks us open. Losing a child feels like falling into a well you didn't see coming. One moment you're standing in your life, plans, routines, birthdays ahead, and the next moment you're at the bottom of something dark and vertical and unforgiving. While in reality, Candace and I had kind of been walking around the well, doing the tightrope dance with the struggles. That's still very pertinent. And from the top of that well, that we circled that entire time for years, the voices start. Some are well-intended. Be strong. Keep up the good work. Everything happens for a reason. There's purpose in all of this, and everything that you could think of that was supposed to be encouraging. You try to hold on to those moments and those words and those people that see past the struggle. Some are careless, some are fearful, some are cruel. So cruel, the things that people will say. And some come from inside your own mind at 3 a.m. I mean, it happens anytime, but those wake-ups in the middle of the night are probably the hardest. You'll never feel joy again. You're broken now. This pain is permanent. Those are some of the other things that, you have swishing around in your brain. And if you hear those voices long enough, they start to feel like truth. So thinking about it, the first frog that died, he didn't die because he was weak. He died because hopelessness was louder than hope. And this is very important because grief doesn't kill us suddenly. It wears us down. Hopelessness whispers, "Why bother getting out of bed? Why even keep trying? What's the point now?" And when that voice becomes dominant, the body eventually follows the mind. The frog who lived, who survived, wasn't necessarily stronger. He didn't have the better odds. He was just protected from discouragement. And sometimes survival depends on exactly that. Not strength, not positivity, but selective deafness. There are seasons, especially in grief, where you have to become deaf to certain things. Deaf to timelines people give you. Oh, it's been 6 months, or oh, it's been a year, or oh, I heard another timeline about 5 years. Every minute is different. I mean, there's probably another episode that I can talk about with the stages of grief, So the timelines that people give to other people are absolutely ridiculous. Deaf to shoulds, deaf to comparisons, deaf to anyone who hasn't sat in this well with you. Not because they're evil, but because their voices aren't safe for your nervous system right now. Grief is already heavy. You don't need added weight. Losing Candace forced me to realize something painful and powerful. I couldn't afford to listen to every voice anymore, because some voices would have killed my spirit slowly. I had to ask myself, is this voice helping me jump or telling me to stop? If it was the second, even lovingly, I've had to mute it. It's not about isolation, it's about protection. Boundaries, right? So what if the encouragement is imagined, like the second frog, that second part of the story just undoes me every time. The frog thought he was being encouraged. And sometimes in grief, encouragement is imagined. Sometimes it comes from a memory, a sign, a dream, a quiet knowing, a love that didn't end with death. Sometimes it comes from your child beyond this lifetime. And if that encouragement keeps you jumping, that's real enough. That's your reality. That's your encouragement. So if you're listening to this and you feel like you're at the bottom of a well, hear me clearly. You don't have to climb all the way out today. You just have to jump once more. One breath. Take a deep breath with me. In through the nose, out through the mouth. One step. You can take a step. You can take a jump. You can take a skip. I saw a hilarious video of people skipping, and apparently it doesn't come naturally to everybody. And by time, by the minute, by the hour. And if the voices around you are heavy, it's okay to go quiet for a while. You're not quitting life, you're protecting it. Maybe the lesson of the frogs isn't about ignoring reality. Maybe it's about choosing which reality you allow to shape you. And maybe, just maybe, surviving this kind of pain requires believing that someone, somewhere, is still cheering you on, even if you can't hear them with your own ears. Thank you for staying. Thank you for listening. Thank you for jumping, even when it hurts. This is our Candy Rose for those who stay. See you next time. Love you.